Jeane Dixon. Did you know that there is such a thing as a White House astrologer? Our next subject, Jeane Dixon, was one herself. She was a world-renowned American psychic and astrologer during the 19th century, and as such, made her way all the way into the White House scheduling office under First Lady Nancy Reagan. As a widely read syndicated newspaper columnist and author of 7 books, including her best-selling biography, she quickly gained popularity. Most know her as the psychic who predicted John F. Kennedy's assassination. Born in Medford, Wisconsin, as Lydia Emma Pinckert, she was raised with her 9 siblings in Missouri and California. One odd factoid? She would sometimes tell reporters she was born in 1918, but according to official records, her actual birth year was 1904. Once she testified in court that she was born in 1910. Why? No one but Jeane knows. Dixon claimed that when she was a child, her mother took her to see a gypsy fortune teller who, recognizing Jeane's psychic abilities, gave her a crystal ball. Dixon also claimed that Gypsy predicted she would become a famous seer and advisor to people in powerful positions. It is believed that by age 9, Dixon began receiving prophetic visions, and by the time she was 14, she was predicting famous celebrities' futures. She did not work professionally as a paid psychic until after she met and married her husband, James "Jimmy" Dixon, in 1939. She helped him with his car dealership business in California, as well as his successful real estate business in Washington, D.C. The Dixons never had any children. Jeane began to gain traction in the public eye in 1942. She reportedly told the famous actress Carole Lombard that it would be a dangerous decision to travel by plane for the next 6 weeks. Lombard took the prediction to heart and decided to travel by train instead to a war bond rally in her home state of Indiana. However, impatient to return to her famous husband, actor Clark Gable, she booked a flight home instead of taking the train. The fully booked flight took off and shortly thereafter crashed into Potosi Mountain near Las Vegas, instantly killing everyone on board. Dixon's best-known prediction was the assassination of beloved American President John F. Kennedy. She wrote in the May 13, 1956 issue of Parade magazine that the presidential election in 1960 would be dominated by labor and won by a Democrat, who would later be assassinated or die in office, though not necessarily in his first term. Critics point out that she later predicted in 1960 that Kennedy would not win the election. After he was elected, however, Dixon's friends reported that she became very worried about the president's safety in the weeks before his death, and on the morning of his assassination, November 22, 1963, she allegedly said, "This is the day it will happen." Dixon's fame led her to meet with President Theodore Roosevelt and Richard Nixon. Nixon requested the meeting with Dixon in 1971, after following her predictions for some time. When she correctly predicted a terrorist attack on American soil in 1972, President Nixon set up a cabinet committee for counterterrorism. Jeane Dixon also became one of many White House astrologers who gave advice to First Lady Nancy Reagan, while Ronald Reagan was in office. Dixon has also been credited with predicting the plane crash of UN Secretary General Dag Hammarskjöld and the launch of the Russian satellite Sputnik. Jeane was inconsistent with the accuracy of her predictions, and critics were quick to point it out. She once claimed the cure for cancer would be discovered in the year 1967. It was not, that we know of anyway. According to Dixon, she had her most dramatic vision to date in 1962. In it, she claimed to have seen Queen Nefertiti and an unnamed pharaoh step out of a giant orb holding a messianic child in their arms. Dixon claimed the child would unite all warring creeds and sects into one all-embracing faith by the year 2000. In 1971, she made another prediction in her book, Call to Glory, where she claimed an apocalyptic war of Armageddon would arise in the year 2020. Since 2020 has come and gone, critics continue to doubt her psychic abilities and attribute her correct predictions to mere lucky guesses. Because of her many erroneous predictions, the phrase, the Jeane Dixon effect, was coined by a mathematician named John Allen Paulos. It refers to the tendency to promote or exaggerate a few accurate predictions by a psychic, while ignoring or forgetting a larger number of incorrect predictions. Jeane Dixon died January 25, 1997 in Washington, D.C. from cardiac arrest, just 3 weeks after her 93rd birthday. Just before her death, witnesses say she proclaimed, "I knew this would happen." Dixon claimed to be a devout Roman Catholic and credited her abilities to be of divine origin. She even went so far as to call herself a prophet of God. Was she truly a psychic? After all, she did make some eerily precise predictions. As always, remain skeptical, open-minded, and curious. Truth can only stay hidden for so long.